Welcome to the Launch Product Next section, your roles, coaching versus mentoring and consulting. With this being your first launch project, you might find yourself wearing some new hats. Some will fit perfectly and others you will have to learn. Eventually, as you grow, you'll be able to staff to your weakness and hire or partner with people that are oppositely gifted. But until then, most participants in the launch program have to get outside their comfort zone, explore, and grow. Wearing both the coach and the mentoring hat, let's talk about the difference there. Coaching is about skills and knowledge acquisition, and mentoring is more transformational. It refers to both personal and professional growth. Coaching is task-oriented, and mentoring is relationship-oriented. Coaching is short-term. Once the knowledge and skill is acquired, the coach withdraws. And mentoring is more long-term. It is only inside the cocoon of trust that mentoring can begin. Coaching is performance-driven, making the coachee more productive in their current situation, and mentoring is development-driven, preparing the mentee for the future. A coach is an expert in a specific area, and a mentor is a developmental facilitator. Now consider which of these will be best for the product or service that you are launching. However, I found it best to be both. Perhaps you will too. It has the advantage of being immediate and long-term. Immediately, your ideal client is seeking you out because they need you in a critical way for coaching. But later, they also need you in the long run for mentoring. They just may not know it yet. And so add to the mix consulting. This is usually the hat that most people are familiar with, as most creators start off by building a following and then offering consultation calls to that following. And these are great skills that you have acquired, whether you know it or not. You have been diagnosing and treating just like a doctor. After a dozen or so plus consultation sessions that you've done, you've noticed a pattern. While all of your clients think that they are unique and their situation is special, so special that you have never seen their situation before, the reality is that you have. And by now, you have developed a process, if you've been documenting, and you know the milestones along the path of about 90% of the people that you have helped. By the way, never stop consulting at least a little. The mistake of successful creators that have gone big is losing touch with their ideal clients. They are now so big that their economics and their opportunities are now unrelatable to their average client. Remember what got you here. So no matter how big you get, from time to time, say once a month, do a one-on-one consult with a little guy. Other roles. Well, those other ones were just the fun ones. But now you or someone that you hire, like a VA, your neighbor, joint venture partnership, or you find a way to automate, like your platform does, or it handles the money or cancellations, etc. You are going to need to wear other roles. I'm not even going to pretend like this is an exhaustive list, and I'm sure I'll probably be adding to this section forever. You are the director, CEO, the manager, and the boss. You're the accountant, the CFO, the bookkeeper, and clerical. You're the community relations manager, social media, technical support. You are sales and marketing, email campaign manager. You're the content creator, course builder, webinar host. Is your head spinning yet? Oh, mine sure is. But don't let that intimidate or stop you. We are most successful when we consistently take small steps after we start before we're ready. So here's some mindset. Maybe I should have included the counselor hat on that list of roles too, because you might be stepping into that role with your clients as well. I have the advantage of actually being a counselor and spending most of the last 25 years helping people with their internal mindset changes. Maybe after hearing all the roles you will have in the future, you will be even more open to some of that kind of help. First, know that about half the work that you and I will do in our one-on-one sessions is the mindset or the internal work. And second, you don't have to be a counselor to help people. I'll show you some tips and tricks and shortcuts to quickly help and amaze your customers. And for now, accept that no one is ever all that they need to be in those roles 100%. Everyone has their own strengths and weaknesses, and no one is perfect. In fact, the biggest, most successful people that you can think of struggled to do everything there was to do when they started. But now, because of their success, they have delegated or automated most of their work. They are even more successful because now they get to focus on what they love and what brings in energy. So notice which of those roles that I mentioned that feel like they are draining your energy. They might be the ones that you delegate at your first opportunity. The early prophets of your enterprise don't buy sports cars. They buy the freedom to get those things off your to-do list and on to someone else's to-do list. And those tasks energize those people. Isn't that cool? It's a win-win scenario. So in conclusion, if you move forward on your first launch, you will have to stretch and grow into a new and a better person. Unless you're very financially well off, you will wear many hats, and some will fit nicely, and others you will want to rip off and throw across the room at times. Accepting this now helps you to gain the big picture of where you want to grow. I have people ask me to distinguish between what kind of language to use when they're in the different roles, particularly the consultation, the coaching, or the mentoring. We have discussed some of that information, but assuming a role is also acquiring an internal space to operate, so I created the following thought exercise to be able to help you. Let's do that now. Perhaps you're feeling a little stressed and a little heavy right now, questioning whether you have all it takes to move forward in your launch. While that is fully understandable and the usual trait of the imposter syndrome that all creators like you and I grow through, let's lean into that heaviness for a moment. Let's not run from it in denial, but instead to do a little work of acceptance. Taking deep breaths, slowing your breathing as you can, with longer and longer exhales, and close your eyes at times to really focus inward. Scan your physical body from the top of your head all the way down to the bottom of your toes, and find that emotion that feels like heaviness. Perhaps it's at the top of your head, shoulders, your chest, your gut, your legs, and accept that it's there. Focus on the heaviness and now use it to relax into. For fun, make it even heavier in your mind. Heavy like a warm, thick blanket comforts you after being cold. Allow this wonderful feeling of warmth and heaviness to help you relax even further. And while part of your mind still focuses on the long exhales from your belly, another part of your amazing mind follows my suggestions. Just the fact that you can do both of these is evidence that you have what it takes to wear many hats and do many things in your life. When you were a child, you probably naively thought that you would be one thing. I don't know what you wanted to be when you grew up, a police officer, firefighter, banker, doctor, teacher, but kids keep things simple, don't they? But now you're an adult with life experience, and you either have experience or you have seen others that have their profession, but they're also a parent, a friend, sibling, spouse, hobbyist. They play recreational sports, have interest in research topics outside of their main profession. It's easy to see that not only do you wear many hats now, but you also have what it takes to try on new ones. Pause and spend a minute in wonder and amazement at your own capacity. And now, as part of you monitors your deep breath, another part feels the warm heaviness relaxing your body, and another part of you is still able to focus on my suggestions. Let yet another part of you time travel. Yes, go 5 or 10 years into the future and imagine your successful self then. See how your future self has grown. This part of you has completed all the tasks that you were intimidated to start. It's in their past. And see your future self's lifestyle, things that they enjoy in their success, and how they now get to focus on only the things that bring energy into their lives, and how they have quickly delegated or automated tasks that empower others with. And let that win-win sink in. Because of what you built, everyone wins. And this future you is you, and you can borrow the attributes of future you and bring them into yourself now to keep. Why not? They're yours, just in the future. Accept them now. Now as you start your journey and occasionally start to feel the beginning tingles of intimidation, notice how the courage of your future self becomes even more present. It overpowers the fear with the truth of who you are. Enjoy this feeling as you now reverse your breathing with long inhales and shorter exhales, feeling energy come into you like you had a really good power nap. Bring all these great positive emotions and successful feelings with you as you get to keep those and open your eyes feeling really fantastic. Good. You really do have what it takes. You can do this. It's worth it. Let's talk about some homework. I want you to reference that list of roles and responsibilities and maybe add to them and create a list of your own in 2 columns. And the first column is list those things that you have some experience doing or you really don't feel like that you need to focus on to grow. And in that second column, list all that you need to pay special attention to. And then prioritize which of those roles you really need to lean into when opportunities present themselves to learn more about, to practice, and to grow in. And then share your list with me in an email, and we'll discuss it in our next session. Next, now if you found that interesting, you're really going to love the next section of the launch course as we go over the super practical ways to put into practice some of your roles.